EV fire FUD. Let's take a look at the statistics. In Australia, there's a very useful website called EV Fire Safe, and it was started up by a very intelligent girl who's also a firefighter. And some of the statistics were quite interesting. Up to last year, I think it's June 2023, only 40% of EV fires actually involved the battery. 60%, therefore, didn't involve the battery, but they still made it into the news. So 6 fires out of 120,000 EVs on the road up to 2023, these figures are for. Now, 1 was arson, 3 were externally caused. The house caught fire and the car in the garage or carport burnt down with it. 1 was due to a collision and 1 was due to road debris. Now, at this point in time, none of them were actually on charge. So, let's get away from this. Cars on charge are a liability. So we go and park them in a car park and plug them in and they're going to burn the car park down. No, they're not. That is just absolute lunacy. So if your EV is involved in a collision or hits road debris, or it's been involved in a submersion, so a flood or something like that, especially if it was salty water, or there's a recall on your car, or it's been in a fire or near a fire, you need to get your dealer to check it out to ensure that it's safe and isn't going to cause any problems. Now, in the USA, there's the National Transport and Safety Board, and they've worked out that per 100,000 vehicles, all right, and this was also auto insurance EZ or EZ, and I'll put the chart up here. There were, per 100,000, so this is not, well, there's not enough EVs on the road, this is per 100,000 EVs, 25.1 fires. Total is 52. Petrol, diesel, ICE cars, 1,529.9, with a total 199,533, almost 200,000. Hybrids, interesting, hybrids, 3,474.5. Now, this data was of 2022. This data proves that the petrol diesel type car is 61 times more likely to catch fire than an EV. And even worse, hybrids, because they've got a battery and a petrol or diesel engine, are twice as likely as that. So EVs do not catch fire. They are a lot safer. And we need to try to get through all this FUD that's appearing. Now, in addition to that, in 2019, the London Fire Brigade, and there's a lot of EVs on the road over there, attended in the year 54 EV or fires that involved an EV and almost 1,900 petrol and diesel fires. That's even more statistics. That takes it up to almost 80 times more likely. No, sorry, I'll lie, it's about 40 times more likely. So, let's just take a look at the stats for the whole world. Now, this comes from EV Fire Safe in Australia. As of the 30th of June, 2023, global fires, 393 fires are verified as electric vehicle fires. Hold on, we've only had EV since around 2010, so in the last 12 or 13 years, there were 393 verified EV fires. 74 were still being investigated and 21 were unverified. Now, these are EV-caused fires. And at the same time, there were more than 10 million EVs on the road in the world. The EV battery is well protected. It's got a very strong case. You can see this when they do crash testing, Euro NCAP and ANCAP. They don't see any damage to the battery. So extensive crash testing, batteries remain intact. Yes, every now and again in a really severe crash, you may damage the battery casing. So that's why I said earlier, if it's been involved in a collision, get it checked out. Take it back to the manufacturer or dealer. Batteries catching fire, they're more often than not the cheaper e-scooters and cheaper e-bikes and other equipment, radio controlled things that have got rechargeable batteries in. And the cheaper ones use, let's say, poor quality or lower quality batteries. And people also tend to use incompatible chargers. You see a lot more e-scooters catching fire when they're on charge. You don't see EVs catching fire when they're on charge. Look back at the statistics. So where are we getting all this FUD from? FUD is fear, uncertainty and doubt. That people are getting scared of EVs. Right, so the first one's mainstream media. All right, they've got a vested interest in keeping the internal combustion engine vehicles going. If we look in Australia, we've got the Murdoch empire, Murdoch media. Murdoch himself doesn't believe in climate change. They're funded by the fossil fuel people, so they just want EVs to get lost. So that's why they'll promote an EV fire. Oh, it caught fire. It's terrible. All right, so when they do catch fire, I will agree. They're harder to put out because you can get what's called thermal runaway. But even so, it doesn't occur very often. The other reason is fossil fuel companies. Now, the interesting thing about fossil fuel companies is they researched back in the 60s and realised that global warming was down to their products, but they hid it. And now they've been paying influencers to spread lies because they can see an end to their product being needed, certainly in the quantities that it is with cars. So they just want to spread basically lies, and they're paying people to do it. They should be paying more research into alternatives, but no. They just want to keep digging this shit out the ground. When an EV does catch fire, it'll make the news because it's such a rare event. Now, it doesn't matter whether the battery was involved or not. They will say an EV is on fire. I saw on the news the other day, they say about people running away from police and so on, but they never mention the make of the car, except they mentioned one recently. It was last week or the week before. Tesla. A man was driving a Tesla. They don't normally say that. They don't say, a man was driving a Ford. No, they say a man was driving a car, but this one happened to be Tesla. So they're very focused in on this crap idea of saying nasty things about them. So there's a lot of misreporting going on about battery fires and electric vehicles, and they're trying to denigrate them so that people who go, I don't want an EV, now look, you see, more EV problems. So all I can say is do your own bloody research. I did, and the statistics prove that EVs are safer. And I'm not even including crash data in that. When you think about Tesla, the Model Y is the safest car in the world, according to all the crash data statistics. Don't know what you think about it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this EV fire misrepresentation by the media and by other people and so on. And while you're down there making comments, don't forget there's that like and subscribe button. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate that if you give it a good click. And down in the description there is also my link to Ko-fi. So if you want to help me out by buying me a Ko-fi on a one-off basis or a monthly basis, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Look, and I'll see you all very soon.